In this video, let us learn how to establish a secure connection between your SaaS application and Google BigQuery using the Simba ODBC Driver for BigQuery connector and Oauth 2.0 authentication. For this demo, let's use the Simba ODBC Driver for BigQuery connector. The process is similar for all Simba connectors. After installing the Simba ODBC Driver for BigQuery connector and setting a data source name, you need to configure authentication for the connector. To learn more, refer to our documentation or watch the video tutorial, How to Configure an ODBC Data Source. The URL is provided in the description. To configure authentication, open the ODBC Data Source Administrator, where you can create the DSN. Create a system DSN as explained in the Configure a Simba ODBC Driver in Windows, macOS, and Linux tutorial, and select Add. In the Create New Data Source window, select the Simba ODBC connector for Google BigQuery and select Finish. In the DSN Setup window, enter a name for the DSN. Like other Simba connectors, the Simba BigQuery ODBC connector uses the Oauth 2.0 protocol for authentication and authorization. It authenticates your connection through Google Oauth APIs. You can set up the connector to supply your credentials and authenticate the connection to the database using 4 different methods. If you select Google User Authentication, it uses the user's Oauth 2.0 access and refresh tokens. If you choose Google Service Authentication, it utilizes a service account's credentials. Alternatively, you can authenticate using the application default credentials or the external account options. In this demo, we will use Google User Authentication. As mentioned, this method uses the Oauth 2.0 access and refresh tokens linked to the user account as the credentials. The access token is sent with every API call the connector makes and is necessary for accessing BigQuery data stores. Therefore, you need to provide the Oauth 2.0 refresh token associated with your account. Select Sign In. In the browser that opens, confirm your credentials to access your BigQuery data source and sign in to your account. The connector waits for the sign-in process to complete. When prompted, select Continue to allow the Simba Data Connector for BigQuery client to access your data in Google. Back in the DSN Setup window, the connector will automatically populate the field with your refresh token. You can select a catalog from the project and click Test to ensure the connection is successful. After that, close the DSN Setup and ODBC Administrator windows and configure the SaaS app with the new DSN. In this demo, let's use one of the Insight software SaaS applications, Logi Symphony. Select the plus icon in the sidebar, select Data, then click Data Connector. In the new Data Connector screen, enter Simba BigQuery ODBC and select Save. In the Data Provider section, opt to add a generic ODBC connection and connect using a system DSN. Alternatively, you can connect using a DSN-less connection. For more information, refer to the documentation. In the System DSN section, select the newly created DSN, test the connection, and then select Save. Congratulations! You have successfully established a secure Oauth connection between your SaaS application and Google BigQuery. This method ensures your credentials are handled securely and that your application has the necessary authorization to access and analyze your BigQuery data. Please share your thoughts and suggestions with us via this email. Additionally, for more information, access the Insight software product documentation using the link provided in the description.